Hello and welcome to yet another Seismic Cinema podcast. I bet you're wondering why you're looking at a picture of me and Paul at Stirling Castle when we were young pups. Paul, dare to explain?
Well, this week we are reviewing the Adam project. I keep trying to call it Project Adam,
It's not
um,
Project Adam, I'll confirm that.
which is all about time travel and meeting your younger self. Unfortunately, though, we didn't quite turn out like Ryan Reynolds.
Speak for
The years,
yourself.
the years haven't been kind.
Speak for yourself.
um, so yeah, that's what we're reviewing. Netflix's latest biggest hit.
Also, have you noticed that I'm wearing my Best Cat Dad t-shirt?
I did not, and it's probably the saddest T-shirt I've ever seen in my life.
It's quite relevant to the film we're reviewing because that's all about relationships with fathers and whatnot.
I thought you were going to say it's about cats, and I was like, I didn't see a single cat in that movie.
No, it's not about cats. So, Paul, you were quite keen to give the audience just a wee overview of the rough outline of the plot of the film.
Yeah, so like in the previous podcast, we've been like likes and dislikes, but we've kind of been skimming over what the actual movie is about. So in the Adam Project, basically, Ryan Reynolds goes back in time.
Not Ryan Reynolds.
Was that
It's Adam Reed.
Adam Reed, played by Ryan Reynolds, goes back in time to save his wife and uncovers a plot that the person he's been working for in the future actually changed time, and he needs to correct it with the help of his younger self, which he bumps into, and also his um, father, and his deceased father. Well, he's alive back in time. So yeah, it's a wee kind of time traveling adventure. So that's a kind of brief overview, and yeah.
Thank you for that brief overview, youngish Adam. So,
No problem, old Adam.
as usual, we're keeping our names themed to the movie. So, I watched this film in three parts. It was strange. I watched the first hour, then I had to run away and do something, and then I watched the next half hour, and then the next morning I watched the last half hour. So I had a bit of a disjointed experience. Paul, when did you watch it? Was it last week some point?
Yeah, I think it was last weekend. But I was like you, I watched kind of half of it, and then I had to do something. Then I watched the last. Actually, I think I only had 15 minutes to watch. I had to go do something. Then I went back and watched the last 15 minutes. Um, so it wasn't too bad. But seeing your three parts, were you looking forward to going back to it?
I was actually. I was quite enjoying it when my break came, and I was kind of gutted I had to take a wee break.
Yeah, it was quite a long wee film, wasn't it? Actually,
It was about an hour 55.
yeah, about an hour 50. Yeah,
It wasn't in the Batman kind of range, so
so you didn't fall asleep.
I didn't actually. I was quite tired as I always am during the week, but I kept going with it. So will we get into? You can start actually. That's a good shout. So obviously we don't want to go into anything that we weren't as keen on right now. So Paul, what was something you liked about the movie?
But to be honest, I wasn't really holding much high hopes for it because it's like a Netflix original, and sometimes they can be a bit kind of hit or miss. But I actually like the parts with Adam and his mother. The way they kind of
Do we know older Adam or younger Adam?
the way I think it's more older Adam when he's talking to her, kind of like in the bar.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a good
he's
scene.
finally getting to go back and tell her all the things he kind of should have said when he was younger.
Yeah,
That he kind of appreciates her.
it's got a really kind of deep message, and it does make you think about the life you're living right now, and kind of are you treating people right, and will you look back on this with regret when you're older? So I like the kind of deep themes of the movie. It was one that kind of got you thinking.
I know. I hate films that have morals in them.
That's my favorite kind of thing.
What about you? What's something you like?
I thought not all of it landed, but I thought some of the humor was quite good between Adam and his younger self, and then there were some quite memorable bits of dialogue as well.
Yeah, there was quite a few exchanges where you could tell it was kind of he got cast really well. It was
Yeah,
a younger kind of snarky Ryan Reynolds. I'm
yeah.
just going to keep calling him Ryan Reynolds. I'm not going to call him Adam.
It was definitely well cast as a young version of Adam, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I really liked it. But like you're saying, some of the humor was very hit or miss as well.
There was a few bits where I laughed out loud, and there was a few bits I just didn't have any reaction. So there was that just kind of mixed bit.
Yeah, and some of it I felt like he was trying to be too much like Deadpool.
Ryan
Which
Reynolds basically makes a joke that he just plays himself in every movie.
so he's just that like that and everything. Yeah, I wasn't.
Yeah.
I was like, I like Deadpool. I love the Deadpool movies, but I was just sitting here going, do I need this here right now, kind of thing.
I think this review, it just seems to be taking a natural. I don't think we're going to be able to do our normal like and dislike. I feel like this is just going to be a wee bit more of a overall discussion. I'm quite happy to do that. Sometimes you just got to roll with it.
Oh God, improv, no.
Improvisation. Did you notice how many times lightsabers were referenced throughout the film?
At least half a dozen.
Right. As you know, and a lot of our listeners will know, and you too, big Star Wars fans, but I wasn't a fan of the copycat lightsaber weapons. Like, as much as I love lightsabers, it's a bit like. You've seen Free Guy, haven't you?
I've not seen Free Guy, but I know there's that.
He basically he uses an actual lightsaber in that, which felt not as bad as basically using like a knockoff one you would get in like a pound shop.
Yeah. It was a bit weird, wasn't it? Even the weapon seemed really overpowered compared to what the bad guys had.
I just feel like my real question is how does he get a? He must get permission from Lucasfilm to do that because, do you know what I mean? Surely you can't release a film that high profile and just like have knockoff lightsabers, like double-ended lightsabers at that.
There'll be something somewhere. They'll have permission.
Because Free Guy was obviously on Disney Plus, so there's obviously that connection there.
Yeah,
Unless
because
it's
I think Free Guy did not get a lot of reshoots because Disney acquired some of the rights or something, so they could add all these different things in.
But Paul, there's a seismic suggestion for you. Free Guy's really good, and you should watch it.
I'm still waiting on you posting Knives Out through my letterbox.
I'll do that. I've not watched Rock and Roller yet either, so failing on that.
Fail. Daniel's going to be disappointed.
Just trying to keep on top of the current stuff. So yeah, I think that this review will take a wee bit. I just similar to what we said at the start. I really like the relationship stuff in the film. So between Adam and young Adam and his mum, even though he was not very nice at the start. Older Adam and his mum, older Adam and his dad, younger Adam and his dad. I did really like the relationship stuff. I thought it was, as we said, the one that really gets you thinking about relationships in your own life.
Yeah. What did you think of Ryan Reynolds and Zoe Saldana? Their relationship?
Right. I've got a confession. I did not clock that was Gamora till the very end of the film. I'm so used to her with green makeup on that I literally didn't recognize her.
And it's Uhura from Star Trek.
I actually thought it was Thandie Newton when I saw like the kind of poster for it.
Oh, right, okay.
Thandie Newton from Run Fat Boy Run.
Yeah.
So I didn't actually clock that it was Gamora, and then do you know how? I don't know if you get it, but quite often Chris Pratt and Ryan Reynolds, I don't know, they don't look alike, but they're kind of the same kind of vibe.
I know what you mean.
So at first I was like, oh, it's the Guardians of the Galaxy couple. Then I was like, wait, no, it isn't. Like he's not
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy. I've totally messed that up. Anyway, I don't know.
Speaking of Guardians of the Galaxy, do you think the music kind of try to copy it?
A wee bit, yeah. There was a decent soundtrack. Going back to your original point, the relationship. I thought it was all right. It wasn't like as intense as it could have been. I liked when you saw the scene back when they were at the academy and he walked up to class. I thought that was quite funny.
Oh, excuse me.
That's you. That's your first. Oh, there's a dog.
Yes, it's Mendo.
So yeah, I thought it was okay, the relationship. I don't think it was outstanding.
Yeah, I thought the kind of chat up in the academy at the end was a bit cheesy, but
Yeah.
it was okay. I find like I didn't not like this film, but I feel like I'm really hating on it in this review, which I don't mean to come across.
I actually quite enjoyed it overall. I wasn't a big fan of like the spaceships and the weapons were just a bit out of place, but the characters and the dialogue and was good, I thought. So
yeah, it's a good kind of family fun adventure with a couple of emotional roller coaster moments put in. I did get a wee bit sad when they're all like the dad and the two Adams are like hugging and stuff, and then they start playing catch.
When they're playing catch in the yard, yeah.
And then they just disappear.
Have you ever played catch with your dad?
No, I'm terrible at my hand-eye coordination. I can't catch a ball.
We should get a ball and some mitts and we can do it.
Good luck trying to find a mitt in Scotland.
I'll need to go to Canada again and get one. So, as always, there was a car chase, which is my favorite aspect of a movie.
Oh, and through the trees.
Through the trees, yeah.
Yeah. Nah, it was. See, I was going to say, like Zoe Saldana kind of shows up.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, I knew you'd come for me. I've been watching your younger self." But like, had he not been there for like 2 days before that, and like injured and stuff, and had his spaceship there, and she hadn't shown her face at all?
Yeah,
she waited till the bad guys came.
I didn't think the bad guys were very good.
Oh, the actual like the generic henchmen.
I just don't. My main issue with this film, as I said, the acting was good, dialogue was good, relationships were good. I just feel like it was a very underdeveloped plot. Like you don't really find much out about why the tech's so advanced by that point, because it's not that far in the future. Like who these bad guys really are. They're just kind of like, we worked with your dad. Now we're going to like kill everyone. I don't know. It seemed quite not very deep in terms of plot.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that. Yeah.
I really think much of the backstory of there's not a lot of world building. It's more just character driven.
Yeah. So like I know what you're saying, like the future people are like flashy for the sake of being flashy, and there isn't any explanation why. Yeah, I know what you mean.
If I'm comparing this to Free Guy is I say a lot better.
Right, okay. Oh.
But it's not to say, as I said, I think because you watched this first and you didn't really seem that keen on it. I actually quite enjoyed it. It doesn't sound like I enjoyed it, but I did actually enjoy watching it.
Yeah, there was a lot of good points to it. It was just wee things that were niggling at me. Like I didn't really like the design of the bad guys. They were just faceless.
Yeah.
Enemies apart from a couple of them, and they're armored up to the wazoo, and they get hit with the lightsaber, and they just disappear. So that was a bit weird. I don't like when you're watching like the Avengers and things, like time is sacred. Like you don't want to change anything at all. And then this thing, it's just like, you know what? We're just going to tell everyone everything.
And he just takes Adam like away the house on the run with him, and then they go visit the dad. And I wasn't too sure about the Incredible Hulk as the dad of Deadpool at first, but I think when you actually got to know the character a bit better, he was quite good. He seemed like a very good professor. He seemed really good at his job, and he did seem to care quite a lot, but he was that kind of absent father, and he obviously regretted his actions. So I thought the dad had quite a good bit of development.
Even though he struck his son.
What bit was that again?
It's after old Adam punches him, he punches him back.
Aye, that bit was quite funny, to be fair.
It was funny, but like, if you came across like your kid later on in life and they're a bit angry at you, are you gonna sock them in the mouth?
No, probably not. That was maybe just another example of the humor kind of not coming off. I thought the mother gave a good performance. Whoever played the mother,
Jennifer Garner.
Yeah, I thought you really feel for her. It's a bit similar. What was that other film? It was in The Shining. Remember how Jack was just absolutely horrible to his wife?
Yeah.
I feel like it was obviously by design. Young Adam was really nasty to his mum, and I liked that subtle bit where they showed when, like, do you know, there was like subtle changes of the timeline, and he said something like, instead of he was suspended from school, and he said something really sarcastic and rude. But the second time, he's like, "Oh, I'm going to miss the bus," and then he remembers that he said to older Adam to give his mum a hug, and then he goes over and he gives her the hug. I thought that was really nice, seeing like the kind of ripples and echoes through time.
Yeah. I know what you mean. It was a nice moment, and the changes. So it was a nice movie.
Those are the bits I really liked, and it was the relationships and the dialogue and the kind of family moments and learning from your mistakes. And I thought there was a lot of good themes. I just think, as was said, the technology just didn't match the film, and the kind of villain and plot was a bit underdeveloped. See, with a really good plot and a bit more kind of gritty, grounded action and kind of weapons.
Yeah.
See if there's no like lightsabers and it's just guns, and there's no fancy spaceships. It's like a helicopter or a plane. Do you know what I mean? See if it was just a bit more grounded in reality.
Yeah, I know what you mean. There was a couple of plot holes. No, not plot holes, but things that just didn't make sense in the movie. There was one that I picked up on, and I heard it in the Wheel of Horror podcast as well. You know, when young Adam's like piloting the drone.
Yeah.
So they were saying, like, why didn't the bad guys just take out young Adam there and then that means old Adam would disappear, and that means end of the movie, the world is over.
Yeah, I felt it lacked suspense a wee bit. Do you remember when the female villain she's with her younger self? And she's got them at gunpoint.
Yeah.
And they did that whole villain hesitates, lets the good guy say a few witty remarks, and then, do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It lacked that wee bit of suspense because it came off as a wee bit too silly at times.
Yeah. And see that gunpoint bit as well. You know, like when they shoots the bullet and then the bullet flies off and hits her younger self. How come when she's holding the gun, the bullets aren't getting pulled towards the reactor anyway?
I don't know. I'm not a physics guy.
I know, but you know what I mean? So if it's magnetic, that bullet's magnetic. Why aren't all the bullets in the gun magnetic? So, yeah, I mean, it's just...
Yeah. Other bits of the film are kind of coming back to me now, like the bit where the younger Adam's getting bullied and he basically keeps shooting his mouth off, and that's why he's getting hit. And then older Adam's like, you don't know how to fight, like, and it was kind of similar with older Adam. He wasn't really that good at fighting either. So it was quite cool. Like when younger Adam was trying to figure out, like, oh, how do I go from what I am to what you are? And he's like, you're ripped and things like that. And he's asking if he gets girls in the future and things like that. And he's like something like, you've just found out time travel's real, and you care whether you're getting girls in the future. Like,
Yeah.
I quite like that humor where like he was trying to like work out how to get from kind of A to Z.
Yeah. And I wasn't sure if it was hard work or if it was like nanobots or something.
Yeah. So it's what I think I'll probably rewatch it at some point because I watched it in 3 parts. I would quite like to rewatch it in one go. I don't
Yeah.
know. Do you think you would ever rewatch it?
You know what? I probably would if I was a wee bit bored and I had a wee hour to kill or something. Maybe I don't know. Maybe to see if I've missed anything. Because like I did watch over 2 parts as well, and I don't know. I might have missed something in between.
There probably are, and if we kept talking for another half hour, we probably would think of more bits. But we're trying to keep these reviews to the nice half-hour mark. So it's maybe
Plus
time.
it's late. It's late because I had technical difficulties.
Paul left me sitting here for half an hour. I was getting a bit dopey and dozy. I was going.
Just dopey all the time.
Yeah, that's the one. Is that something new we could add to the end of the podcast? Whether we'd rewatch it, I think that could be quite interesting. Just because how we spoke last week during our movie ranking, how some films have that rewatchability.
Yeah,
I'd say this one is not massively rewatchable, but I would rewatch it, and I think you kind of said you probably would too.
Yeah, I'm kind of 60-40 that I might.
Yeah, but yeah, get on Free Guy. If there's any Free Guy fans watching this, tell Paul to go onto it. So I think we do our rating. I need a couple of seconds thinking time. Right, I think I've got what I'm going for.
Right, okay.
I think I'll go first this time. I think you normally go first with the ratings, so I'm going to give this a 6.5.
Oh, half marks.
Yeah, I'll explain why. So I've already explained why. I think it's got great acting, including another great child actor, good dialogue, a lot of the humor lands, really touching moments, great character relationships, some nice kind of learning from mistakes, and it was just the kind of futuristic tech and the main plot and the villains. So I don't think I would never put it as low as 5. 6 is probably the lowest I would go. I think with a stronger plot and more like a plot you can more invest yourself in, I think it could go higher up. But I'm quite happy with a 6.5.
Respectable. I've been kind of swithering between 6 and 7. But I feel like most of this review I've just been kind of bashing it, so I'm going to probably go a 6.
That's maybe why doing the likes and the dislikes is the better formula. Anyone watching who cares to comment, should we do what we did for this video, like just a kind of mix of points, or should we stick to the likes and dislikes? So it'd be interesting to hear some thoughts, maybe from some of our favourite YouTube friends, like the Star Wars guy.
Star Wars guy.
Star Wars.
Thoughts about Star Wars?
What did I say?
You said Star Wars guy?
Yeah, then I said thoughts about Star Wars.
Oh, right, okay, I didn't hear that, sorry.
Check him out anyway if you haven't already. Was this not a request? Was it Stuart again?
I think it was Stuart again, yeah.
He's getting quite prolific, isn't he?
I know, Stuart Smith.
Yep. Might
So
need to get him on at some point. That could be his reward.
His reward for throwing loads of movies, that is.
Yeah. I think we got another one tonight, didn't we?
From
someone else, your work colleague.
Oh yeah, my work colleague George Lennox. He's requested the Big Lebowski. I've not seen it, so I think it's one of these kind of cult classic legendary movies, but I've never seen it.
I've not seen it, but it's the one that basically Fat Thor's kind of based off, isn't it? Or something there.
Yeah, I think he's referenced in it. And in game.
I'm going to add it to the the classic list. We should just do an episode and I'll just talk people through my list here for that.
Sure. You got a spare couple of hours?
Right, let's get to it then. So this is Thursday evening. Of course it is. And this was our review of The Adam Project. On Monday, Paul, am I getting the days right?
Yep.
We are going to our podcast podcast sense is tingling. Got it.
What?
I don't know. I was trying to say something, but it didn't work out. So yeah, we're doing a ranking of the Spider-Man movies. So the 3 original ones, the 2 amazing ones, or possibly amazing ones, the 3 Tom Holland ones, and Into the Spideyverse. And we're giving Venom a wide berth. So that's coming out on Monday. Next Thursday, we will be showcasing our first ever interview. We are delving into interviews, and we're going to be interviewing local film director Neil Boyle to hear about his new film and also his career in filmmaking. And Paul, we're going to do a wee bit of homework to make sure we're prepared for that.
Yeah, because we're bad enough talking to each other, so actually talking to somebody that knows what they're talking about might be a bit daunting.
Yeah, it'll be illuminating. So just to finish off, just where we can find you, Paul. Am I sticking to the plugs tonight? Are you going to plug in?
Oh, you started off so well. Just you end it on a high.
I wasn't doing well at all there. I totally messed up my Spider-Man joke. So in terms of social media, we are on Facebook as Seismic Cinema. We're also on Twitter, where we've got a ever-growing follower list, which we really appreciate people following us. Instagram, where we continue, along with Facebook and Twitter, posting seismic suggestions. The seismic suggestion most recently was, what was it? I just posted it recently. Click, which is a really tear-jerking film, and I don't think I can ever watch that again. Talking about rewatchability.
That is a doozy.
The video for this is on YouTube. We have 21 subscribers as Stan. So if you are watching our videos, what's
22 subscribers.
Hey, when did we get a new one?
George Lennox.
Okay, so up to 22. The last time I checked it was 21. So if you do watch our YouTube videos, it'd be greatly appreciated if you subscribe to our channel and like the videos to help us grow, because we know that people are listening. We obviously see the statistics. We just want that reflected in the viewership. Also, our audio versions of the podcast are available on Anchor, which was our former home base, but we still post from there to the likes of Good Pods, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and hopefully I've not forgotten any of the podcasts. So we've got a minute and a half just to sign off here. It'll be goodbye from old Adam and youngish Adam. Although we were critical of the film at times, still definitely one I think is worth checking out for the themes and some of the heartwarming moments.
Definitely. And if you're looking for a good plot, maybe give it a swerve, but definitely worth a wee kind of family watch if you're into it.
And any Wrexham fans, your owner's in it, so you might want to watch that.
Nice.
So we were Seismic Cinema. We believe in the power of escapism. It's been a very busy week, but as soon as we get in front of this camera, despite the fact we're not very good at speaking, I quite enjoy it. I think Paul quite enjoys it. He gets a wee bit stressed out because he's scared of technology, but
I'm not scared. The microphone doesn't work.
Right, we've got 40 seconds to spare, but let's not keep going any longer than we have to. So we'll see you next time.
See you next time. We're in the past, not the future.
Whoa, I'm confused.